Welcome to another edition of Spooky News from Spooky Ventures. This time around, it's October 20th, 2023, and we're getting really close to Halloween. In fact, there will be just one more Spooky News update before the big day, so I hope everything is beginning to look very spooky where you are. Of course, as I always say, spooky is a lifestyle, not a season for those of us in the spooky tribe, but it's still nice to have the rest of the world on the same page for a while. Before we get to the actual news, I need to get the usual things out of the way. First, remember that if you want more information about any of the things I talk about, there are two ways to find that. First, you can wait until I'm done talking and you'll see the source and more information URLs listed as title cards. I mean, if you get through the torture of me talking, you might as well stick around to read the actual articles, right? You can also find the links in the details section of this video. Secondly, everything Spooky Ventures, and especially this YouTube channel, is supposed to be interactive, so please interact. You can do that by liking and sharing our videos. You can also comment on the videos or contact us directly. You might have news items for future editions of Spooky News, or ideas of people we can interview. In either case, contact us with that information for sure. You can also interact by subscribing to this channel. With all that out of the way, let's turn to the actual news items. We'll start with a piece of music news. Kate Pierson of B-52's fame has just released a new single. This one is a solo artist. It should be of interest to fans of spooky things because it's called Every Day is Halloween. Now, I definitely subscribe to that theory and even released merchandise with a similar mantra a couple years ago, so the song is a natural for me to talk about. Next up, we'll turn our attention to movies. Apparently, the planned trilogy of Exorcist movies is still in the works. Given the poor reception Exorcist Believer has received, though, there is talk at Universal that they're going to change the plans for the upcoming films in the series. While the movie will turn a profit, the feedback from viewers and critics mean that there are likely to be revisions made to those upcoming movies. The next one planned is supposed to be titled Exorcist Deceiver. It will be interesting to see if that one will be better received. It's planned for release in 2025. I'm going to turn for a moment from movies to television news. That's because this story makes a great tie-in, and it's also a follow-up to something I talked about a couple weeks back. Before Blumhouse turned their attention to the new Exorcist trilogy, they gave the Halloween franchise a similar treatment, but to better reviews, well, at least for the first couple movies. Let's not talk about Halloween Ends. Though they got better reviews than Exorcist Believer is getting. Well, it appears the next step for the Halloween franchise is to home screens. That's because a bidding war was underway for TV rights to the property. I reported recently that A24 appeared to be winning that battle and would likely get the license agreement. Things changed, though. It turns out Miramax, not A24, got the agreement. They have planned for a new Halloween universe for television, and it will be interesting to see what they do with it. Back fully to the world of movie news, George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead is celebrating its 45th anniversary. In honor of that milestone, the film is heading back to the theaters. The re-release will be to Regal Theaters, and it starts on October 27th. Just to be clear, the version they will be showing is the standard 2D edition, not the 3D one. You can find dates and theaters listed on Regal Theaters' website. Next, have you heard about Stream? It's an upcoming film that just had a trailer unveiling. A horror movie, you probably figured that out since I'm talking about it, right? This film features director Damien Leone, who is known for the two Terrifier movies. The cast for Scream includes a lot of familiar names for horror fans. Among those are the Candyman himself, Tony Todd, Mr. Lovecraft adaptation, Jeffrey Combs, and Dee Wallace of the Howling fame. The names don't stop there, though. Danielle Harris from Halloween 4 joins Felissa Rose of Sleepaway Camp and Leprechaun's Mark Holton in the cast list. Other cast members have been in such horror films as Final Destination, The Devil's Rejects, Day of the Dead, Terrifier 1 and 2, Stephen King's It, Exorcist 3, The Conjuring 2, and more, by the way. Next up, I have several sad pieces of news. First, Jeff Burr recently passed away at 60 years old from complications of a stroke. Burr was a filmmaker probably best known for such movies as Leatherface, 3 films in the Puppet Master series, and Pumpkinhead 2: Blood Wings. Actress Piper Laurie also died recently. She's probably best known to horror fans and as Carrie White's mother in the original Carrie film, but she had a long career that included Twin Peaks and much more. She was 91 years old. And another death I need to report is that of Lara Parker. She was known to Dark Shadows fans, myself included. I was one of a generation of kids who ran home from school to watch the gothic horror soap opera, as the witch Angelique, who had cursed Barnabas Collins, turning him into a vampire. She also became an author, penning several Dark Shadows novels. She was 84 years old. That brings us to the end of the actual news items, but I'll be looking at some dates on the calendar next. Before I do that, I just wanted to remind you that if you want sources for any of the things I've talked about, you can see them as title cards after I'm done talking, or find them in the details description of this video. I know I mentioned it before, but I wanted to make sure you remember that. About the calendar, we post things of interest to fans of all things spooky, like movie release dates, birthdays of spooky authors, actors, and others, and more. You can find it at the main page at spookyventures.com. There you will also find a lot of other cool things, including links to some Spooky Ventures merch at our Cafe Press store at cafepress.com/spookyventures. The calendar link is at the bottom of the page of the main sites at spookyventures.com. Looking to that calendar, you'll see that today is Bela Lugosi's birthday. Also, the movie Malibu Horror Story opens today. Keep in mind, I'm not sure what kind of distribution the movies I list in the calendar are getting, so you might want to look around to find out more info if a movie sounds interesting to you. Next Monday, the 23rd, is Sam Raimi's birthday. A week from today, there are 3 movies opening. One of those is the film based on H.P. Lovecraft's Thing on the Doorstep, Suitable Flesh. Bonded and Five Nights at Freddy's are the other 2 movies coming out next Friday. I should be back a week from today with the final spooky news before Halloween. In the meantime, remember, spooky is a lifestyle, not a season, so always keep it spooky. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.